That will kill you. Any of those people try to get in that water, they're likely to die. Oh, man. Is that a kid?
Yeah, there's 2 kids and a dad.
Lord, man. I can't believe the dude's still videotaping this.
I know.
Floods kill more people than anything in natural disasters. He's a kid.
Yeah, kid is stuck underneath this ATV.
Hey, she's chewing bubble gum and just
just hanging out with her bag.
He's just going to drag it. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Shock just hit him.
He's a kid.
Yeah. Kid is stuck underneath this ATV.
And she's just nonchalantly, not even.
Completely in shock. Has to be.
Hey, she's chewing bubble gum and just
just hanging out with her bags. I don't know if that's mom or a big sister or what, but definitely is checked out.
So she was in the rig? Do we know?
I'm assuming she was in there because the kid came out on passenger side. So he's trying to get a better pull.
Dude, he's in a egress mode. He's trying to get things handled.
Yeah.
We'll get on that officer to have a strap.
Yeah.
It looks like a truck or SUV.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like some kind of truck.
Dude, I don't understand. Is that heavy of a Polaris?
I don't think it is.
I feel like with that, her and him could pull that Polaris. It looks like a Ranger.
Yeah.
He's just going to drag it. Oh, my God. And she's just sitting there nonchalant.
Yeah. Nothing going on. So, from what I read, boys recovered, survived. But this just looks like the Hot Mess Express right here. Man. So they end up getting him out of there, and then he's okay. But
can we read it?
Yeah, let me.
Man, children are tough, right?
Yeah, kids are tough.
10-year-old boy was laying face down in the dirt. The top bar of a flip ATV was pressing the back of his neck. Hundreds of pounds of metal were pressing the life out of him. He was turning blue. That was on his neck.
Yeah.
That 10-year-old boy is at home with a few bruises and scratches. The moments between then captured on dash cam. Sergeant Ray Rodriguez was patrolling along I-16 when he came through the county reporting a traffic accident on private property. He pulled up. He saw the ATV. Video captures the moment. He realized the boy was trapped underneath. I need help here. He calls. Rodriguez pushed out the patrol car to check on the boy. I think he either saved his life or saved him from lifelong injuries, Chief Deputy said. Atkins said the toe strap isn't standard equipment for his deputies, but says Rodriguez isn't standard either. He's an active Army reservist and has received accommodations before for heroic actions while on the force. He's been nominated for the Georgia Deputy of the Year. And yeah, he's a really humble guy. He said he did what any deputy would do at the situation. Instead of panicking, he did what he could do. Those moments when law enforcement officers are using whatever tools they have to make quick decisions. It's time to buy toe straps for the entire squad.
Yeah,
right?
Seriously.
Man.
So that's a tough circumstance, right? Yeah. I mean, one, let's talk about emergency management. First off, big sister, mom, whoever that is,
dude,
checked out, right? If I call 911 because
she's chewing gum, hanging out,
holding her bags. So even if you're in a state of shock, this is where, prior planning has a huge thing, right? So if something happens, I know in an emergent situation, if you and I are in an ATV, I've already thought through, and we're probably likely to even talk about it. Hey, if this thing goes over, this is what we're going to do. So even at a baseline understanding, even with no medical knowledge, rescue knowledge, anything, have the conversation, right? Hey, if we were to flip this, what are we going to do? I'm going to try to flip it off of you, or I'm going to do this. Oh, do we have a toe strap? Do we have any of these things, right? Yeah. Do we have a first aid kit? And then from there, even if she's stressed out, she's like, well, I can't flip this thing off of him. Well, you're on dirt. Grab a stick and start digging away and start clawing
Do
something. Because at that point you could claw enough at his head and around his neck, relieve enough pressure where he can breathe. Even if you can't dig enough to get him free, you could at least open an airway.
Or you could deadlift the bar. I mean, there's case studies of incredible feats of strength,
right,
of lifting heavy objects off of people in distress. But this confuses the hell out of me because it's like this person, it's almost like this person just came across this and she wasn't involved at all. I can't believe that she potentially would be related to this person.
I can't see that being a mom.
I can't either. I mean, maybe she didn't want to get involved because she thought the kid was dead already.
Maybe.
But I mean, if I see that, I'm doing something.
Yeah.
And the reality, look, here's the reality that we live in today is this idea of a responsible citizen that that Austin and Fieldcraft Survival is bringing to you, where we're providing free education on this type of thing. The reason we're doing that is because we've witnessed firsthand the neglect of citizens in our country and their disdain and not wanting to get involved and help people that are in need. They'll drive by cars where people are on fire and they burn down to the ground. They'll pass by people in distress. We posted a video of an experiment where they were snatching up kids in front of people, and people were annoyed because they're like, why? Oh man, what? This guy just took this kid in front of me. That's annoying. And back to their phone. Scary.
Yeah. And that really is what happens. And I think a lot of it is people in the absence of knowing what to do nothing.
Yeah.
And that's the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
Right. At least she called 911, assuming it was her.
Yeah.
She stayed around, but she's not even trying to direct an officer in. Like, there's a lot of things here where we could say she could do something.
Yeah.
But as far as the officer's actions,
well, you could tell even in this shot right here.
Yeah.
He's taking his demeanor based on her demeanor.
Yeah. He's like totally relaxed as he walks up. And
she's on her phone. She's like, she's not even pointing out.
And then he jumps. He's like, oh my God.
Good on that officer, man. Yeah. I could tell he's deliberate. He's squared away. He's not panicked. He immediately goes back, gets a tow strap. What would you, for somebody who's in search and rescue, what would be the best setup? Like in special operation rigs, we used to carry tow straps pre-rigged on the front of our bumpers to be able to hook up. Yeah. What do you think the best setup would be?
Tow strap is a great option. Soft shackles, having some soft shackles, and then having some kind of a backpack, some kind of a weighted apparatus to put in the middle of that, because if you are pulling, that way if a cable snaps, it's just pushing the energy down instead of out.
Yeah. And that could be, I mean, you can get that stuff. You can get a kinetic tow strap, tow rope online anywhere.
I mean, you're talking. Yeah, I mean, if you want to go even to a tow rope, I mean, you're talking like what, $80, $100.
Yeah.
I mean, all set up for an actual recovery for a vehicle for a couple $100s, right?
Yeah.
For something like this with a tow strap, a shackle of some kind, and some type of weight distribution, you're talking like $50 at a hardware store.
Yeah, I carry a 10,000-pound winch on most of my rigs not because I'm not a rock crawler, so I'm not interested in doing that because I don't want to damage my rig, and it's just not my style. I like overlanding and I like preserving my rig. Most of that is for me recovering other people, which I've done with my rig more than I have myself. Right. Yeah. Good video, man.
Yeah, and even having that on the Polaris, have it on there so then you can do that. And even with a pulley, because with a little knowledge on YouTube, you can look up a mechanical advantage. One person could easily flip that vehicle off of someone with one pulley and one rope.
And don't let your damn kids in Polarises and UTVs and side-by-sides or any motorized vehicle without a helmet.
No helmet, no seatbelt is more than likely what that led to. So, scary circumstance.
Good one. Thank God he lived. And good for that sheriff, man.
So this one, another one, pretty scary.
That looks like Arizona.
It is, yeah. This is Sycamore Creek in Arizona. Flash flood. So from my understanding and reading, people were tracking this vehicle with people in it down the river.
So what people have to understand about this right now, that's not just water. That's mud. That will kill you. Any of those people try to get in that water, they're likely to die. Most people would go feet first, which is what you don't do in downwards flowing water, especially heavy rapids. and then they'll get caught up and snagged, and then they'll just get sucked under. And
there's tons of debris, tons of debris
everywhere. We recently did this, right, with a buddy of ours.
Yeah.
We had a circumstance, and you can get often. This is near our neck of the woods where we used to overland and off road. One rainstorm, that could end up being the case,
and it doesn't have to be the rainstorm right there where you're at.
Yeah,
it could be upriver.
It could be upriver. You're right.
Well, because that's exactly what happened to Lee.
Yeah, it came off the high ground
Yep.
and down into the low ground, which is probably this case here. Oh, man. Is that a kid?
Yeah, there's 2 kids and a dad.
Lord, man. All right, it does look like he's remaining calm, and he's kind of giving his kids instruction.
Oh, the car's going over. Oh, they're all in. So that's got to be the kids. Older brother, maybe. Because this guy's still on his feet.
Why is he fighting for? Is there somebody else in the car?
So if he's standing up and that's only a little above his knees, it's not even very deep. But
Yeah.
you see how that was moving that vehicle.
Yeah. Again, a good reason to have your kids trained in the water. That your kids need to be able to swim, and they need to understand how to react and respond to this. This is a moment where you can get ropes in the water and start pulling these kids in. I can't believe the dude's still videotaping this.
I know.
I mean, thank God they are, because we can kind of see what's happening. But
I mean, you're likely to be filming a death when you do something like that, you know?
floods kill more people than anything in natural disasters. I mean, the floods that were in New York that came up through that storm that was a Cat 4 when it hit Louisiana and then turned into a tropical depression. That killed more people in floods than it did anything else.
Yep. So it looks like they got a rope in the water there. They look like they threw something.
Oh man, I hate when kids are involved.
Yeah. Oh, got him. That's a young one too, man. Yeah, it looks like a toe strap or something.
I'm getting a little anxious watching this. Maybe it's because the 5 cups of Black Rifle coffee I just drank. I just butt chugged 5 cups of coffee.
Caffeine dump. Man, swift water is one thing that always puckers my ass.
You guys specialize in swiftwater rescue, right?
We do. Yeah, and swift water is, they got the other kid, it looks like. Oh, that's an adult.
That's a dad. He's done, man. He's exhausted.
In what was that, 200 yards?
Yeah.
Yeah. The water wins every time, man, and it's terrifying.
So how'd this one end?
Yeah. From what I read off this video, they got everyone out of the water. So
His 2 sons and him were rescued.
Oh, good. So, I mean, it's when you're talking about something swift water like this, I mean, the biggest thing is you just never cross. I mean, even the public news organizations put that out. Don't cross water that you don't know how deep it is at all, especially moving water.
Is that what they did? No one I'm doing is crossing.
I'm guessing that's what they had to have done. Or like Lee, our buddy, that was literally just parked there and got swept, like hit by a freaking.
That was so sketchy.
It was.
Man.
Yeah, you guys can see that.
There's actually a video.
Yeah, we have a video of that. Yeah. But I mean, in this circumstance, if you're caught in this circumstance, the best thing you can do is either try to stay together, keep everyone there, stay as stable as you can in that vehicle. And then if you do end up in the water, everyone's natural reaction is to want to keep their head really high, get their head up. They panic and they paddle. Actually, the technique in swift water is you want to get your toes up. You want to float and let your butt kind of sit down, and it'll actually kind of similar to a back float like you'd have in a pool. You want to be able to do that so you can ride down.
And keeps your extremities up off the bottom.
Keeps everything up off the bottom, potentially from getting snagged, and your butt is going to be kind of your what's going to be hitting things instead of an extremity, your head, your torso, something like that. So it's tough. It's a technique that you need to practice. You can get in the river, in a really normal day if you go hang out with your family, and you can have your kids practice a technique like that. And then for ropes, having something like that, some type of apparatus to throw to someone from your vehicle is a great idea, or for you to have in your vehicle if you witness something like this to throw to someone. A throw bag is one of those things that requires no training. Every member of our search and rescue team has a throw bag. even the rookies and even guys not on the Swiftwater team, because it's something that requires a conversation, a couple of practice of throwing, and you can actually affect a lot of help to someone instead of getting in the water and becoming a victim yourself.
Yeah, that's what we did, I think, with the Lee. We use ropes. But also, in a vehicle, when you go into water or you're going to be overwhelmed by water, make sure you get the windows down. You want to get your windows down. A lot of people die because the water and the pressure that's applied to the outside of the vehicle prevents you from opening the doors unless it's completely submerged. And even then, it's very difficult when you have to have your wits about you. So having the windows rolled down will allow you to at least egress from it, and also have a glass breaker. Yeah. Like a lot of people, if you've ever hit a window trying to break it, it takes a lot of force to do that. You have tempered glass on the side glasses, which takes a lot of pressure to hit and shatter. You're not going to be able to do that once it's submerged in water. The only way you're going to be able to do that is to have a punch or a break to deliberately break the glass. Like the movies where they kick out the front windshield, it doesn't work like that. You'll never produce enough energy to do that. The best thing in that circumstance is get your nose pointed down waterway. So if it's coming down from the side, that's what happened here. Is his nose was pointed, or he was sitting perpendicular in the water, got hit from the side, it rolled it onto the side. If he could get his nose down, then he could give himself a little bit more time to get the windows down, to get out of the vehicle, and then potentially swim to the shoreline for help. But a little bit of education in this goes a long way.
It does, man. And the unfortunate thing about this is there's not a lot you can do, but what you can do is prep with the right equipment and being comfortable in the water. Yeah. And that's going to be your best defense in something like that.
Yeah, have the conversation with your family before you go into these kind of circumstances. Hey, Dad, what would we do? Or, hey, son, what do you think we would do? Or let's talk about like what we're going to do if something goes wrong. Yeah, good video. Guys, if you like this, we like the catastrophe videos. I like those as well because they allow us to talk about search and rescue things, which is your expertise. We also do the tactical videos as well. If you like this, subscribe, hit notifications, and make sure you leave us feedback and comments below. Fieldcraftsurvival.com on everything we do.
Yeah, drop us videos if you like them too. Hit us up on Instagram. Send us the links. That's actually how I found a couple of these.
Oh, cool.
So,
yeah, I like that. We like you guys' feedback. Till next time.
Later, guys.